Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for your continued support. Now, the beef and the enmity and the supremacy battle between William Ruto and Mount Kenya, especially the supporters and leaders who are allied to Rigathi Gachagua, is not ending any soon. And William Ruto is doing everything to ensure that instead of calming down the situation, he aggravates it. Apparently, there is a story that is grabbing headlines that after the events that took place during the Jamhuri Day, when William Ruto was rejected and county commissioners in most of the counties in Mount Kenya were left stranded with Ruto's speech. When people rejected the speech, they walked away, they heckled. DCI singled out certain leaders who they suspect were behind the heckling, that they engineered the heckling and the walking away of people, shaming and humiliating county commissioners. Now, one of them is an MCA in one of the wards called Engineer Ward. I think this is in Nyandarua or something. So this MCA was summoned. And when news went round that he was being called upon to record a statement, it angered many leaders. And those leaders who are allied to Rigathi Gachagua, especially the Senator Medhu, the Senator of Kiambu, Karungu Wathangwa, led a group of supporters, motorbikes and vehicles. They rallied their support and escorted this MCA to go and record that statement. KBC was saying this, that Nyandarua's Engineer Ward MCA Mwangi Gichuki is summoned by the DCI in connection with the booing of the county commissioner during the reading of the resident's speech at the Jamhuri Day celebrations. And people were asking, is it a crime to heckle someone? And we really need to understand our constitution, because we are at a point in time where the government is going to force people to do things that are outside the constitution. Just like they ask, is there a law that gives William Ruto authority to vaccinate our cows? They're asking, is there a law that is guiding or compelling anyone who heckles a leader to be summoned by the DCI? Those questions are now lingering. You remember the other time, there was a member of parliament who said that he wishes William Ruto meets God. He was also summoned. And I have a feeling that we are misusing the DCI and the police. Now, I want you to listen to residents when the Kiambu Senator, Karungu Wathangwa, was talking to them. And Karungu was telling them, I have the very speech that your leader is being accused of rallying you to reject. Now we are here. Can I read for you that speech? And they are saying no. In fact, they are demanding that that speech be banned because they don't want it. They don't want anything to do with William Ruto. Here's the clip.
Sikiza ndio niulize na lugha ya Kiswahili. Ndio yeye rais akiwa mahali yako asikie. Sasa wewe rais unashika ma MCA sababu alikataa kusikiza speech yako. Mimi nimekuja Nyandarua, niko na hiyo speech yako, nataka kusomea watu wa Nyandarua. Nisome nisisome? Halo Nyandarua. Nisome nisisome? Nisome nisisome? Nisome nisisome?
That is the reason I'm telling you that the advisors of William Ruto are not doing him any good. You see, they should let the sleeping dog lie. You know, things like heckling and booing are never crime. And the more you want to follow the leaders that you feel are behind the heckling and walking away, then you are adding salt to injury. You all understand that there's a reason why people heckle William Ruto. That is the main gist that you should be looking at. Why are people, heckling, booing, and walking away from William Ruto? For example, if they want to pin down the member of county assembly, then why don't we look at all the other counties where the county commissioners were left stranded? Then why don't we go and check where William Ruto himself was officiating and conducting the Jamhuri Day celebrations in Uhuru Gardens? There were videos and pictures of empty chairs. People just walked away, people boycotted. So what is the difference between a person who walks away and a person who heckles, or a person who just decides to boycott? The intention is the same. We don't want to listen to the speech. This is not the first time we hear or see people walking away from anyone who wants to read Ruto's speech. Sometimes back in Nakuru, the governor there was heckled when she wanted to read Ruto's condolence message. Susan Kihika. We have seen this everywhere. And so the question should not be who was behind it, who masterminded the people who walked away. The question should be, why are people heckling William Samoei Ruto? That should be the biggest question so that we don't miss the point. Very closely connected is the recent outburst that William Ruto engaged in when he was telling Kenyans that if you are opposing the planned vaccination of our cows, then you are stupid or mad. And when he's saying this, it is not only one person who is rejecting. We have seen leaders, including Azimio leaders, including Ledama Lekina, saying, my cows will not be vaccinated. And then to make matters worse, yesterday the Kenya Veterinary Association disowned William Ruto, saying, we were never consulted. We were not part and parcel of this. At the inception, during the process, we just see William Ruto throwing words here and there. We have tried to ask, what is the rationale? And we are not told. So, when people, including professionals, disown William Ruto, then how do you expect the ordinary mwananchi to trust him? And therefore, I don't think it is proper to start summoning leaders. Do you want to tell me that the ordinary mwananchi cannot walk away from a county commissioner if the other leaders are not behind it? Are you telling me that the common mwananchi does not feel the pangs of anger and poverty as a result of Ruto's bad policies? Or are you telling me that the common mwananchi does not understand that William Ruto is taking loans from IMF? That William Ruto has got a close connection with Bill Gates, and people suspect Bill Gates is behind what is happening in the country when he suspended the ban on GMO? Are you telling me that Kenyans do not go to the hospitals and the SHA is not working for them? Or better still, are you telling me that the residents of Nyandarua are happy when Rigathi was impeached? People can always read, people can always see what is happening. The more you want to arrest people, the more you want to summon people, the more you radicalize them. That is how radicalization takes place. Instead of dealing with the real issues, you now measure on the minor. You want to look at who did this. These are signs of dictatorship. Dictatorial tendencies just begin like that. When you are now afraid of criticism, very soon you will see them being locked behind the bars. And I understand this is how detention without trial began. It begins like this. You go to the level of you summon an MCA. You are making them famous for no good reason. And you're even proving further that you had an ulterior motive against Rigathi. When there was a fracas in Limuru, when goons roughed up people in a burial event where Rigathi attended, they decided to summon the victims, the members of parliament who accompanied Rigathi Gachagua. And the people who did that, according to Rigathi, was saying these are people who are known. They were shown on TV, national TV. And he was asking Douglas Kanja, because they come from the same county, I believe. Yeah, they're even coming from the same constituency. And he was asking, why haven't you arrested them? Why haven't you questioned them? Instead of doing that, people like Karumu Wathangwa were summoned. Others were summoned in Nairobi, others in Nyeri. And when they went there wasn't any tangible reason, including a former member of parliament who was allegedly kidnapped, was being questioned. And this is why the residents say, we don't want to hear that speech. We didn't want it on Jamhuri Day. We don't want to hear it now. We'll never want it. In fact, choma your speech. And the more William Ruto subjects himself to such kind of improper behavior, he will be humiliated. Members will continue to reject him. Members will continue to reject any other person associated with him. And the advisors of William Ruto must decide to guide him properly. Let him not start a war. Let him not begin this war. When a country is tired, you need to go slow. Don't get head on with them. You've seen what has been happening, including that impeachment that was declared against the Korean president. We are inching closer to something like that. There will come a day when everyone will be dissatisfied with Ruto's presidency. If you see people like the members of the ODM rejecting vaccination, then you understand that something is wrong. Because right now, William Ruto is clinging in Raila's coat, trying to look for Uhuru to cling on his coat, looking for the dynasties to help him run a hustler government. And he had rejected them. He had said that our mabwenyenye hawaelewi njani nini. They cannot run this government because they don't understand the predicaments of the people. Now he's running to them. A time will come when these people will also realize that the country has moved on and they have been rejected. And they will make a U-turn. William Ruto will remain alone as an island. And that is the time when he will realize that people are angry, because right now he still feels that he can keep on cheating people and deceiving them here and there. What do you make out of the residents of Nyandarua? And what advice would you give William Samoei Ruto?